Do you ever have those times in business where you see a lot of people doing something, you think, hey, maybe I should get in that, or maybe I shouldn't get in that, and you wonder which way to go? Hi, I'm Terry Brock, and I want to share with you a really important principle that I learned back when I was in school from a really good professor. It was the idea of what do you do when there's a lot of people in business, for instance, doing a particular tactic, or they're using a certain style, and they're all in a particular location. And you know what? This also applies in life, because in life, often there'll be a lot of people doing a certain activity or doing something you think, hey, it's that popular, it must be the thing to do. Well, I had a professor who was really, really brilliant and just one of the best I had. It was in my MBA program when I was at Georgia State University in Atlanta, Georgia. And he talked about what he called the mini balls in the crashing in the air theory of marketing. That's it. The mini balls crashing in the air theory of marketing. You think, what in the world is that? Well, I happened to find one of these a while back and thought I'd get it. It was in Atlanta, and this is a Battle of Atlanta genuine mini ball. Matter of fact, it was a classmate of mine who gave me this, which was really, really kind of her to do that. I think her name was Terry Martin. And Terry, if you ever see this, thank you very much for it. Hope you're doing well. But this ball, this is what it is. Now you think, well, what is that? Well, let's take a look at where it's described over here on Wikipedia. And as you can see here in Wikipedia, they talk about the mini ball, M-I-N-I-E, and you got one of those little accent things over the ball. And it was named after its co-developer, Claude Etne. I think you say that, Etne Mini. There he is, a little picture of him on that. He invented the French mini rifle, and it came to prominence in the Crimean and the American Civil War. American Civil War, also known as the War of Northern Aggression for people down south. But what it was use these little things right here, like that, and this is what one actually looks like. This one was actually captured, or recovered, I should say, in the Battle of Atlanta. Both sides had this technology, and it was a very powerful bullet, very powerful war technology at that time. And they would pierce through bodies, very devastating and very bloody in the way that it would destroy. It would destroy objects as well, just smashing everything there. Both sides, both the North and the South in the American Civil War, had a lot of these and used them extensively. As a matter of fact, there's so many of them that were there that they have now places where mini balls were actually crashing in the air. There were so many coming from each side. Well, I remember the professor that I had talking about that, and his name, by the way, was Dr. Stanley. Dr. Stanley is what he'll be known to me always. His full name was Thomas J. Stanley, an American writer, business theorist. He wrote books called The Millionaire Next Door and The Millionaire Mind. He taught at several places, one of University of Tennessee, University of Georgia, where he graduated and got his PhD, and Georgia State University, the university where I had him for my MBA program. And he talked to us about this. He said, when you find out that everybody's in a particular area and they're all shooting, doing the same thing, what you want to do is you want to kind of come over here on the side. Get away from it a little bit. Get maybe over here on this side. Don't go right in there where everyone is located and when everyone's doing the same thing. I was talking to a friend of mine, Deanna, about this earlier today. Hi, Deanna. Hope you're doing well. And she was talking about whether we get into podcasting or not. And one of the concerns I have about podcasting right now is it's a great medium. I love listening to it. When I'm moving around, I have a bazillion, I think that's the exact number, a bazillion podcasts on here that are really good. The problem is there's so many of them now, I can't listen to all the ones that I want. Now, each of these are really good. They are podcasts that I raised my hand and said, hey, I really want this one. I want to get it. I want to do it. But you see, when there's so many out there, you don't know if you're going to be able to really stand out. Why should I start another one just to spend a lot of time, money, and energy producing a podcast and nobody's going to listen to it? That's a concern. Now, there are some really good arguments for having it, particularly in a niche where you identify a given need where there's a lot of people that say, I really want to know about that. Like, for instance, I'm making something up here, say lawyers in the state of Michigan who specialize in personal injury. Okay, that might be something that would be of interest to a certain group of people. I'm not a lawyer. I do not live in the state of Michigan, but to some people, that's very important. And a podcast on that could be really good. Or maybe chefs who cook with a certain style of cooking. Hey, that would be a good podcast. And you might want to consider when you're doing a podcast, sometimes you might want even more than just the audio. You might want to bring in video. Like, for instance, my hypothetical example there of the chefs. In cooking, I could see it would be really important to have a lot of visuals. Not so much in the law side, although that could be helpful too. But think about what we have with that. This is very similar to another concept you might have heard of called Blue Ocean Strategy. It goes back to a book that was written back in 2004 by Chan Kim and Renee Mauborgne. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of Renee's name, so please forgive me that. But the whole idea is, if all the fish are in one area, the water is going to get real red from blood. You know, all the fish there. You don't want to be there. You want to go some other place where it's a blue ocean. Tom Stanley would say you want to get out of that mini balls crashing in the air. And that theory of marketing is not a good one. Find something unique. Find something that is different about you that the market wants. The market is willing and ready and able to pay for. Not just something you're crazy and goofy. That's more of a quirk. It's like, okay, yeah, if you're really weird and goofy, that's one thing. But what you want is something that they go, hey, I like this. And a good way to do that usually is take two different things that are really good, that you're a specialist in, and combine them. For instance, if you're an engineer, say in mechanical engineering, that's really good. But if you're a mechanical engineer and you also speak Mandarin, oh, hey, now you've narrowed it down even more. You speak Spanish or Russian, or not only do you do that, but you're also real good at another skill that relates to that in a positive way. Think about it. You want to get good in a couple areas, maybe 3 if you've got a little bit of time. It's going to take a while because you got to get good in each one. Try that, and that can help you a lot. Hey, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Terry Brock. You can reach me over on my website, @TerryBrock. I do a lot of consulting. TerryBrock.com is the website. @TerryBrock is on Twitter and on Steemit. And I do a lot of consulting, coaching with people, helping in marketing strategy, helping in different areas of where people are really trying to get an advantage and using some of the latest technologies and tools that are out there, like video, like audio, and things like that. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Terry Brock.